Hello and welcome to a patch 2.8 video. There's just a lot of stuff in here that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to make a quick little video to show you. The first thing is there's been a new skin, the premium skin Loninator for Sheriff Lone Star. So that's a very cool premium skin. The next thing is a really cool, although a little bit grady, Coco voice announcer. So if you want to check that out, it's pretty cool. The next thing that I am excited about is another new announcer, the wildlife documentary. It's kind of like David Attenborough narrating your Awesomenauts matches, so I think that's really cool. And then also, there's a new song for the Starstorm expansion called Sirens Before the Storm. I have no idea what any of this says. Russian, been added. Also, another thing that's been added is global chat, so we can say hi and talk with all the people in the voice chat, global voice chat. Talking. Cool. Red equals Deb, blue equals you. Easy to remember. Also, in case you didn't notice, there's a new image for Christmas. Nice and pretty, so it's very, very cool. Nice and Christmassy. A couple more bots have been added to the game, a Derple bot by the Meesp, a Penny Foxy bot by Flawless Hair, a Raylan bot by Vineko, which fixes the perfect aim that the previous Raylan bot had, a Scoop bot by Nail Clipper, a Sentry bot by Ignatus, a Skolldir bot by Harry Butchers and Hurley Bird, and a Yuri bot by Ignatus. Another great thing that has been added to the game is if you look in the minimap, you can see which characters. Everybody's got his own icon, and that's very useful for telling knots on the screen. See, I know that's a clunk, that my clunk is chasing the other clunk. Very useful. Alright, another change is, if you can see, the health bar is now gone when they are in cover, which is, let's see if we can watch that again. See? And the health bar is properly covered, because in the past you could see them by their health bar. Another thing that's been added, I quickly pause this, is a respawn timer, so you can tell when they will get back to the drop pod. 10 seconds. And now I know how long people will be out, although this doesn't include the drop pod dropping time. Another thing that's been added is an improved auto camera. Now, in the past, when you click this, it would alternate between the two teams, or alternate between both teams. It would try to follow both teams, try to keep everyone involved, but now it will only focus on the red team like this, and this time it'll focus on the blue team. It's a nice little useful tool for watching replays. They've also separated a lot of the volume options, which is nice, because a lot of the time I can't hear the announcer, so now I can make announcers louder, and everything else quieter, which is nice. 8 new achievements have been added to the game. Bouncing Bears become awesome. Snorkel Pipe Boost killed Solar Boss within 2 and 10 minutes. 2 minutes, 10 seconds. And all these different upgrades, achievements, so that's pretty cool. They're going to be adding a lot more in the future, so a lot more things to do besides just play. Another thing that's been added is colorblind mode, which is quite an interesting change to things. It makes things really visible, although I see that the turret health hasn't been applied. That maybe could be something that could be fixed. But also, damage over time has been changed to purple to better fit with this new system. I know a lot of people that will be using this even though they're not colorblind, because it just gives a lot more contrast so that you can see a lot more health easier, and when distinguishing between a lot of people in a pile, you can tell your teammate's health from your enemy's health, which is quite useful. It has been changed that Gnaw, Raylan, and Ayla are available to all people, even the people joining for the first time. It just lets them have a couple more characters to play with instead of the original, these 4 here. They have fixed the way grenades interact with platforms, glass platforms to be specific. They actually stay there and not phase in like they used to. The same thing goes for Swiggins' anchor. It interacts properly with glass platforms now. One thing that's been added is a timer for this eye on a Gillian, and also what also gets changed is this sword is no longer visible to the enemy team while you are in cloak. That used to be a problem, is that you could see that and I find someone that was in cloak by looking for that little sword thing. They've also added a little bit of fanciness to the core's death animation. As you can see, the electricity pulsating through the core, and yeah. They've capped the name length to 16 characters here on the main screen, so if you have anything longer than that, I believe it will cut it off. The text has been given better anti-aliasing, so you can read it better, which is nice, because it's always been a little bit hard to read those chats, but now you won't have any problems. A couple of skills have been given a visual indicator as to when they can be used again, and the first of which is Coco, which you can see there, the activate symbol. The second one is Derple's nuke. As you can see, it gives you a detonate symbol. Very cool. Swiggins' anchor has a slightly different one, as you can see. It gives you a recall option, which is new. It's different than the other guys that I've showed so far. Sentry's black hole also gives you a detonate symbol. There you go. And finally, Scree's saw blade. As you can see, there's a stop button and a recall button, which is different. Lets you know when you can send and return your totem, or your saw blade. The auto camera has been improved so that you catch more interesting moments, like when a person gets humiliated, or when a oh, this is embarrassing. But it also focuses more on large amounts of damage, so they've just improved how the auto camera works so that you get the best viewing experience possible. Genji bot has been removed because it was found that he had a lower win percentage than all of the other bots, so they removed him. He was being a downside to a team whenever you got it, as opposed to the other bots, so they removed him, sadly. Also, languages was added to the options from in-game. The AFK timers have probably been set at what they were supposed to be, so that's good. There have been a couple of sound improvements. First of all, Lone Star's gun has been changed, as you can hear. It's more spacey sounding and looks like pew, pew, pew. So a lot more futuristic. Also, a couple of sounds have been added depending on whether you hit a flesh target or if you hit a metallic target. So that has just been changed. Let's see if we can figure it out with the... it's very slight. You hear that tap, 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 as opposed to some sort of fleshy sort of sound. So a lot more sounds have been added. Also, the Susie announcer has gotten a couple more voice lines. So that's pretty interesting. That's probably the same person as Coco, so when Coco got recorded, they probably did a few more voices for Susie. A lot of the skills have been given a graphical upgrade. One of the first ones is Skolldir's. As you can see, it's 3.2 times as awesome as it used to be. Dumb. Let's watch that beautiful earthquake. Look at that earthquake go. Lone Star's attack has been changed along with Derple. It scales a lot better in terms of visually when you buy certain upgrades. Also, as you can see, I have bought the radius upgrade, and it shows the actual radius of what does damage. It's no longer as ambiguous as it used to be. Because a lot of times you'd say, how is he shooting me? And you didn't realize he had bought explodey bullets. And so now you can actually tell. Froggy's gun has been improved. I can't see it that much, but I guess it's all those extra particles and stuff. I don't use Froggy too much, so I'm not too familiar. But I guess all the extra little bubble effects is pretty neat. Lone Star's rocket, and as you can see, let's see if we can activate. His rocket has had improved visual, and as well as impact has been upgraded as well. So that's pretty cool. Leon has been giving a sort of stabby animation whenever you stab something with his sword. As you can see, there's sort of an electrical little pulse whenever he stabs anything. The little electricity is really to see. Clunk's AA has been improved as well. As you can see, we've got the little spinning things, which is cool. Ayla's Rage Field has received a electric improvement so that you can... Very pretty. Sentry's ability has been giving a more tinge to the color. Let's see, these are the... I don't know if they changed those abilities, but that definitely, I think, a little bit more reddish than it used to be. But let's check out blue. Blue Sentry definitely has a lot more blue tinge to his abilities, so you can tell them apart. See, much bluer. That way you don't mix up, if there's two sentries, you don't mix up who is who, and whose mines are who, and whose teleporter is who. Voltar's Healbot has given a lot more of a graphical upgrade. It's a lot smaller, but we'll talk about that later. But it's graphically been upgraded, so it looks cooler. Ted also has improved team color on his airstrike. As you can see, it's a lot more red. And now we'll check out the blue side. And blue Ted, as you can see, a lot more blue. So it's very distinctive as whose team Ted's airstrike is from. There's also been improved team color on Froggy's abilities, so I didn't see much about that, but that is definitely a lot more red. You can see in the very center that's much more red. In the past, it was definitely a problem distinguishing between two Froggies has been difficult in the past, so it's nice to be able to distinguish that. But let's see, blue. A lot more blue tinged, as you can see, and with his tornado, let's just action. A lot more blue tinged, so again, a lot easier to see who is who, Sentry and me, and so a lot of distinctions made for when it's hard to see between who is who on a certain character. And finally, Coco's ball has been given a huge graphical improvement as well as a good radius size, as you can actually see how much of an explosion she makes. It's also been fixed for team color, so we'll check out blue. See, as you can see, radius much improved. And finally, blue Coco. As you can see, a lot more join and a lot cooler, which is really nice. One of the big problems with Coco is that a lot of people couldn't tell how big the radius actually was, and so it didn't seem fair. It's like, how did you hit me so far? Because the ball actually has a larger explosion radius than it looks like it is. Wrathstone has been replaced by Barrier Magazine for the following characters: Clunk, Coco, Derple, Genji, Lone Star, Scoop, Sentry, Skolldir, Scree, Swiggins, and Voltar. The other ones that aren't mentioned still have the old Wrathstone, but a lot of people just weren't using it, so they removed it. For Ayla, you can now see the Evil Eye recharge time when you are enraged. That wasn't possible before, and it used to be you have to kind of guess when it would be ready, but this way you can set up those Evil Eye hits and know how much time you've got left. Also, Clunk's interface has changed. As you can see, his little barrage thing changes depending on which upgrade you have. It changes, it's not just static, and you can see it gets bigger and bigger, so you know, okay, now I've got the smaller one. Just letting you know what upgrade you have, or shot you have next, which is quite useful for planning and saying, okay, I need to have the big one, so boom, I've got the big one. Now I can do this, and quite useful. They fixed the sliding bug that was in it. Genji used to sort of, in the last patch, he would slide all over the place, but they fixed that. He now has his normal velocity, which I kind of miss, but I like the other velocity better. I like the sliding, but a lot of people did not like it, so that was changed. Froggy also was fixed. He was intended to slide, but I guess he slid a little bit more than they originally intended. Penny also suffered from that sliding bug, so they fixed it. Now she doesn't quite slide as much as she used to. Discovered a little bit of a Froggy bug here. Interesting. Nice job. Oh, he finally made his way out. The upgrade Sharp Edge Ragers, that is the new name. It used to be Muscle Fibers, but it was the same as a Skolldir upgrade, so they changed it. Raylan's T-800 droid dies after 5 seconds of Raylan being dead. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you look on the minimap, it disappeared. Because I don't think the Scree could have killed it that fast. But nice little thing, because those would clutter up the field, and it only makes sense, because Gnaw's Weeblings die when Gnaw dies, so it makes sense that Ray's droid dies when Ray dies. That little guy. Similarly, that word is hard, He will leave it. Sentry's decoy dies after 5 seconds of Sentry being dead. So let's watch it on the minimap and blah, blah, blah. I'm so dying. I am dead. Blah. Also point out, Sentry's health has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it disappeared. You see on the minimap. Sentry's health has been decreased from 1650 to 1500, so cutting back on his massive amounts of health that he has. Sko's Earthquake is more reliable. I'm guessing that means that, see how it transferred over? Because in the past, it was a little bit derpy if you did it over like a weird like platform or something. It wouldn't actually show up. So it's nice that they fixed that. It was a little bit derpy. Another thing is that Sko does 75% of damage. They didn't get really to show that, but he does 75% of his AA damage to turrets now, so that's been changed. Scree's totem placement has been improved. It's less likely to get stuck on glass platforms, which is nice because a lot of times you'd throw it and it would get stuck on a glass platform and it would be basically useless because you miss what you're aiming for. See, a lot of times it'd be a little bit derpy, you know, it might fall all the way through, so it's nice that there's more reliability in his upgrade there. Swiggins has been changed a little bit. If you see, he no longer falls when he's in the air. Instead, he becomes perfectly stationary. That removes all knockback things, so if he's in the middle of getting thrown or something, it completely cancels all of his momentum, which is interesting. A nice little change to him, and a lot of people like it. I personally don't, but maybe I'll grow used to it. I used to think part of the momentum was part of the way to aim with them, so it's kind of different, but who knows whether it would be good or bad or what. This has changed as well when you don't have the anchor. That gets a little bit of a thing. His radius has been decreased by 15%. So let's see if we can help somebody and show you. It's a little bit shorter than it used to. Also, look at those team colors. There's been an improved arc on the way you can throw it, so it's not just the cardinal directions anymore, which is nice. Much more precise aiming, which is always good because missing an anchor hook like that is always a pain, even though you get better aim with that. So, very nice, very nice. A couple of shop improvements for Swiggins is Aquarium Pump has lost a stage, but is changed from 10% to 15%. Aquarium Pump has increased from 135 to 160 solar per stage. Energized Hook, where is that? Energized Hook. There it is. Okay, Energized Hook is reduced from 180 to 175. Reduced the price of Pneumatic Spoon from 190 to 165, which is nice because it was really expensive. Slightly increased Swiggins' jump height, which is really, really, really nice. Makes a lot of time platforming with him was a complete pain. Also improved aim with the ink shot, so you have more precise shooting for that, which is nice, always nice. And Swiggins now has a 0.6 second delay when picking up his anchor. Punish people running around with their anchor on the ground. That was the purpose for that. Ted's shotgun has been reverted back to patch 2.6 ability, where they've been experimenting with like separating his shotgun bullets, but they decided to revert it back to keeping it all as one digit and one number, just to avoid things, I guess. Whereas cluttering up the screen, a lot of numbers in close proximity, it gets kind of hard to tell where everything is. So quite good improvement there. Think with shotgun though. Also, Ted is no longer stunned when he uses his stim pack, which is nice. He cannot use skills still in that second when the animation is going, but also keeps him able to move, which is nice. It doesn't completely disable him, so you can do things like that where you activate stim pack and then keep moving. So that's always good. Alright, there have been a lot of changes to Voltar. He's probably been the biggest touched in this patch here, because this patch was mostly a visual update and not a, oh, this is a problem. That is a big problem. First of all, his, ow, oh boy, this is not good. His heal wave minimum heal is reduced by 5, but his heal wave maximum heal is increased by 5 as well. Happy Thoughts reduced healing from 20 to 8 or 17 per stage, so removes that. Decreases the size of Healbot's heal and damage area. This thing right here, see how much smaller it is than it used to be, so it's sort of limit his crazy trains that he can get going, which has always been a little bit crazy. Boy, man, these bots are fucking our butt. Fixed a bug where Voltar's Healbot would randomly knock people over, which is always good. Slightly increased acceleration, increased gravity to improve movement, so I guess he moves around a little bit better, which is nice. He's always been a little bit floaty and so hard to control. And finally, the biggest change in this update is, as you notice, I'm dropping a heal bot, and it's not healing me. That is the biggest thing, because that's really important, because now Voltar has no way of actually healing himself. That's going to completely change how people play. Man, this bot is evil. That is really evil. That's going to really change how a lot of people play Voltar, and I think the days of Voltar are very well numbered, just because of how much he's getting nerfed. That's a lot of nerfs he's getting in this patch. But overall, this patch is really cool. There's a lot of visual improvements, which I guess they're doing because of the new tournament that's coming out in a couple days. And so they want to make the game look as cool as possible, and that's my guess as to why they've been doing all these visual improvements, is to make it look as awesome as possible. But that has been my look at patch 2.8. Hopefully you guys have learned something about this patch and that you are looking forward to play with it. But I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.